Hey guys, so welcome back to Chamberlain Family Farms, and welcome if you are joining us for the first time. Today's going to be another first for me. I am going to get some of these hostas. We have a beautiful selection of hostas here and all around our property, really. And so what I'm going to do is separate some of the hostas for Kim and then some to potentially sell, as well as put in other places around the property. So again, this is the first time that we're going to do this. So we're going to take the hostas from the back, and this is a really established area right here. It's been here for a really long time, and they just multiply every year. So Philip is going to go ahead and dig up a section towards the back, and then we will separate them and probably pot them in some other pots and see how that goes. So stay tuned.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is you can see there's still even more growing up, new ones coming up through here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of go about halfway, but there's like one great big crown holding this whole section right here. For what we read, these things are really hard to kill, so
you don't have to be as gentle with the roots as you do with other flowering shrubs and other types of plants. I mean, you don't want to be extremely rough with them, but you don't have to be as gentle as you do with those others.
Right. This would kill a lot of plants, other plants, if we do that to them. So,
like I said in one of my previous videos, these are pretty invasive. They spread like wildfire, but pretty much. And I mean, they're beautiful when they bloom out. So I'm not concerned at all about taking this up, because it won't be long before this whole area will be covered again, because they just multiply so much. Just last year, I planted that whole, like 2 or 3 down there, and I've got probably 15. Oh, there it is. Like I said, that has been there for a really long time. So those roots are going to be pretty deep. All right, so there's one little section. And you can see the crown right there.
So each one of these is his own separate plant. Each of these little sections, if it's got enough roots on them. Put that up there and Jake can deal with that.
All right, so there's number 2 and number 3. So now we're just going to work on separating them.
Water.
Yeah, and we can put those in water, and then they'll grow the roots.
As you can see, a couple little roots there. So they might actually be all right. We won't be able to sell them this year, but that could be for next year.
Guys, look at the bottom side of this. These are so root bound.
All right, so here's one of them here that got just a little bit of roots on it, still got part of the crown. So them leaves that are starting to come up, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go at a 45, cut them off like that. And now we're going to just stick this right down in that water. And then hopefully in a few days you'll see more root systems on it, and it should be good to go. Now you don't want the whole thing down in the water, you just want just the crown of it. We can dump out more water. kind of keep that in a shady spot somewhere. And went ahead and I got my butcher knife. I hate to do it to this, but I don't think it hurt too bad. But that just wasn't doing it. So yeah, a knife is much better, guys. Alright. So I don't know if you can see, but that's a plant, there's a plant, there's a plant. And there'll probably be some more growing through there, and it's got a really good root system. So we should be able to plant this and get several up. And of course all this down here is part of the crown, so we'll just pop that one or transplant it somewhere. From my understanding, it don't take a whole lot of roots to keep these things alive, so there's actually several different ones, and I'm hoping that there actually be multiple come up through there, but we do have one that's already coming up, so she can plant that one. But I think what we'll do is we'll just cut this in half and have about 3 on each side. Now the ones we actually sell, we will not sell these for a couple weeks because we don't want to sell them and then they turn around and die. So we'll keep them around for a couple weeks, make sure they're growing good and all that. So, which I have no doubt they will. You're leaking water everywhere. I don't know if you wanted that or not. So I'm not sure what the medicinal use for hostas is. I do know there is a medicinal use. I haven't tried it, of course, because I don't know what it does. I just know they're just a beautiful shade plant that grow just about everywhere. I mean, really pretty leaves, really pretty flowers.
And they'll smother out weeds.
Oh yeah.
So far we have 2 potted, and should get several out of those.
I can see some wheat fabric here. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. You can see several different ones there, so we may actually have quite a few grow out of this one. And then we also got an extension of roots, so I have no doubt this will be fine. And the bees and the hummingbirds, they love these things too whenever they flower out. So if you guys like hummingbirds and butterflies and bees and all that stuff, this is another good thing to have for that. You can see on the bottom it's got quite a few roots on it too. Again, these are root bound, but now they'll be able to spread out now. So yeah, don't be afraid to try this stuff, guys, even if you don't know what the heck you're doing, because I promise you, even if you mess up, you'll learn more from that mess up than what you'll get from just watching the video, just getting out doing it yourself. So never be afraid to try things. I mean, really, these things ain't very much anyway. You can go to Walmart, I think, well, they get like $5 a piece or something is what they were. I don't know what they are now, but
really resilient, so I'm not too worried if we mess up a little bit that they're going to come back.
Yeah, especially up here at the house. I know, because we got a huge crown. We got a bunch of them coming. They'll seed back and everything. They're going to keep multiplying. We're just trying to get them multiply in other areas on the farm, and like I said, sell some. So. Show these. So I'm always trying to leave some roots, and always trying to make sure that there's plenty of crown on them.
So I've got a big pot here. I'll be able to put quite a few in this one. And then we'll, like he said, wait a couple of weeks and make sure that they're going to do okay before we unplop them and transfer them to something else for resale.
Beautiful slice of cake. Alright, so this one here is 2. And what I'll probably try to do is I'll probably try to cut like right in the center of this here, just to make sure it's got some roots on both sides of it. Plus it does have roots on the bottom, and it should be good. So yeah, this knife is working really good, guys.
Probably a lot less damage than using something else too, because you can slice down just a small section at a time.
And if you ladies are doing it, remember, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission. So if you know your husband's going to say no on the hunting knife, he'll forgive you.
And if you want to get rid of all the dirt and just plant just the hosta and the roots from the hosta, you can always just work that dirt off and put it in a 5-gallon bucket of water and rinse it off and get it all nice and clean. I don't really know how necessary that is, but
I ain't doing all that this time.
I think this method's going to work just fine. It's in the dirt that it's used to.
Yeah, this thing's gonna need sharpened pretty bad after this. Oh yeah, I was kind of worried about it, but there's plenty of roots down here on it. Oh yeah, if you guys like our videos, what we do, please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell. That way you guys get all our upcoming videos. And well, that one there is going to have to go to the water, but there's, I don't know if you can really see it very well. Where's the camera at? There it is. You see them little hairs kind of growing here? Them are little roots, so we'll just cut this off at a 45, stick it down that water, and hopefully they grow.
I'll move the water over here.
But yeah, if there's like something you guys want to know, and even if we don't know, we'll try it. We don't care. We're all about doing new and exciting things together. So if you guys got any ideas or you want to see something, write it down below in the comments, or send to our email, chamberlainff@gmail.com.
Some of these channels, you'll see that they're real perfectionists. We're not really perfectionists.
No.
We like to get the job done, but we also like to do it right. But we're not going to be nitpicky about every little thing.
Heck no.
And then you can, you know, see what works for you.
And I can't, honestly, I can't stand anal people, even though I can be at sometimes. But as long as the job gets done and it works, it's not wrong, guys. There's so many different ways to do so many different things. So if somebody tells you you're doing it wrong and it works, you're not doing it wrong. So yeah, I know I could have went straight down like that, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential hostas plants we can put on here. So I want to make sure I leave plenty of root, and I'll just take little slices out of it like this. So that's why I'm not just going straight. Trying to give as much chance as possible. And honestly, most of these probably won't be for sale. I mean, yes, a few of them might be, but most of these are going to site 1, and might put some more back here on the pond.
We'll see how things go. If things are going really good, I mean, we have our farm market, and I plan to put, eventually put some hostas out from our cuttings, as well as some comfrey. Because our comfrey is going wild over here at site 2.
And if you're local, you guys get on Facebook on Chamberlain Family Farms, and we'll try to keep up to date on what we have in our stand and everything. Right now, all we got's eggs, which we've had so many comments about that, because we're not doing it the same way everybody else does right now. So a lot of people don't know with eggs, if you don't wash them, I mean, granted, you don't want a bunch of chicken poop or anything like that on there. But if you don't wash your eggs, it has a natural coating that lasts months compared to if you clean them and refrigerate them. They only last, you know, just a few weeks. So what we got is we just got a cooler out there, and as long as it's under 70 degrees, the eggs are fine. And they'll, like I said, they'll last for months. But a lot of people, they've forgotten the old ways how to do things. They wasn't taught for a generation or two, and unfortunately, a lot of that knowledge is gone, so we may actually have to put a fridge just because people don't know. And I've had a lot of criticism for not putting them in a refrigerator, but in Indiana there is no law on that on their farm. We looked it up, and there is no rules or
as long as it is your homestead and people are purchasing for your home, it's on your property, then you don't have to abide by all of these vendor laws.
Yeah.
Although you want it to be safe, and of course we're going to make sure that they're safe.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's the best way and the most natural way to do it the way that we're doing.
And it's been done for thousands of years, so. I mean, what do you think people did before refrigeration?
Yep.
There.
And when it gets really hot, if it's like 90 degrees, no, we're probably not going to have them out there. But right now, when it's a temperature of 70 degrees, they're fine. They're insulated. They're being kept cool at room temperature, and they're fine.
Flip them off.
People are going to criticize the way you do things no matter what.
So we got 3 more here that kind of cut a little close, but like I said, as long as it's got a little hair on it, and make sure you got that crown. Actually, if you just got the crown, sometimes it'll just grow out of it anyway. So we're going to go ahead and try these, and don't forget to cut it off. Now we left, yeah, this is some leaves, but you should see a new leaf coming out of them whenever they start to grow. So
guys, right now I have 7 pots with 2 or 3 hostas in each one. Here's another one too if you need to cut this and separate them.
Another good thing about coffee cans, guys. Now, granted, there's some paint, but these things ain't gonna be in there very long. These are gonna go down to mom, so they're gonna be transplanted probably today. So another good reason to hoard your coffee cans.
And any of the roots that we have here, we're just going to throw them back in. Any of the extra roots that we've got accumulated while we've been doing this. And who knows, like I said, I mean, hostas, they do some crazy things with multiplying. And fast, too. Alright, guys, so out of that one area that Philip dug, we have 10 hostas in this big black bucket that we're going to take down and transplant at Site 1. Then we have an additional 10 containers that we're going to transplant or resell. And we have around 10 clippings in this little container of water that we're going to wait until they root out and then transplant. So if you found value in this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We sure do appreciate it.
Mom's all about this little house, so we went ahead and we put 5 plants on each side of it. And of course they get huge and they'll fill out real nice.
Yeah, here in the next year or two, this whole area on both sides is going to have little hostas popping up.
We hope you enjoyed watching Chamberlain Family Farms. You can contact us at chamberlainff@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Facebook, Chamberlain Family Farms. We hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe.